You're watching Hidden History, honoring Black history.
History in our own backyard. The Brown v. Board of Education historic site where we're at right now tells us the story of a school desegregation. But there's a whole lot more inside these walls. Austin Barnes shows us how the Monroe School continues to educate visitors.
Brown versus Board of Education. It's been read about in history books for decades, but along these halls of the Monroe School, that history was reality for students. Inamini Ekong spends his days teaching visitors about the summer of 1950, when 13 parents came together with a common goal to enroll their children in various neighborhood schools. He says Brown versus Board
laid the foundation for much of what we saw and know to be a very visible civil rights movement. And that's not to confuse with the civil rights movement having started long before 1954.
The case famously ended segregation in U.S. schools, but it wasn't Topeka's only civil rights contribution. There was John Brown and his role in bleeding Kansas, leading to the Civil War and ultimately freedom for those forced to live in slavery. But things didn't change overnight.
As we know, just because our laws change, that doesn't mean that the social fabric and the acceptance of that law changes.
And it's those lessons that visitors here to the Brown versus Board of Education Museum take home with them, out of textbooks, and applying them in their everyday lives. Visitors to the site walk along a timeline of social injustice, learning the struggles of great civil rights leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Little Rock Nine. Lessons and stories Ekong says may hold even more weight in today's world.
History on a larger scale is never really history. It's always, in movement, and that the individuals today are definitely going to be making history. I can almost say that we're probably living in one of the most historic times in America.
As the country celebrates Black History Month, honoring the minds of those who fought to make every man equal, Ekong says Kansans should be especially proud.
This is a story not to only be told by individuals who get transplanted here, but told by those who live within its borders. And so I really feel like everyone in the state of Kansas is the best ambassador for this story.
In East Topeka, Austin Barnes reporting.
Still ahead, he is revered for his accomplishments on the gridiron, but his influence off the field may have been even greater. A look at how Hall of Fame coach Eddie Robinson shaped lives and influenced Black history.